we go. Here we go.
I said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news live edition. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content with the people. Salute the Bucks Nation friends and family. Y'all know we here to talk about what's going on in Washington between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Washington Wizards. The return or the first game for Middleton against his former team, and vice versa for Kyle Kuzma. The Bucks are up by 2 points right now. We are choking badly right now. We had this game completely under control and just completely fizzled down the stretch right now. We're trying to hold on. It's just very, very unfortunate that this game is going down like this. But let's talk about it before the game is over. So Giannis obviously was on minutes restrictions today. He was 6-9, 6-11 from the free throw line, 18 points. He did foul out with 6 fouls. I think that Giannis really should have been less aggressive than he was. I feel sometimes Giannis is just 100 miles per hour. He doesn't know how to turn it off. And sometimes you got to use your IQ and know how much you mean to the team. Giving up 2 points versus you not being able to play, I'd rather just give up the 2 points from time to time if that means that you're going to be able to stay on the floor, especially when we're shorthanded, Giannis. You got to take that in consideration. But appreciate your aggressiveness. But you gotta sometimes you gotta balance out the pros and the cons. And 6 of 11 from the free throw line, Giannis, he got to figure something out at the free throw line. He got to figure something out. And 7 turnovers is crazy. 7 turnovers from Giannis. I know he's with an injury. I'd have rather that he sat tonight, to keep it real. I'd have rather Giannis sat tonight. Kyle Kuzma with a good game so far. 8 of 18, 2 of 6, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, 19 points. Hey, y'all. Kuzma, I'm cool with having Kuzma on this team. He's showing way higher basketball IQ than we anticipated. His rebounding, his energy. Kyle Kuzma's fitting in just fine, in my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. A shout out to the best chat on YouTube. All right, Bucks. We up 3. A minute 54 left. Let's go, Bucks. AJ Brook Lopez, 5 of 8, 2 of 4 from the 3-point line, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. He did have 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover, 15 points. I know a lot of you will look just at that box score and be like, Brook had a good game, but I will retort and say Brook caused a lot of what's happening for this game to be close. That drop coverage is ridiculous. He only retreats. He allowed them so many easy buckets. He makes the whole defense collapse because he keeps retreating. He doesn't stand for nothing. Damn, Brook. Respectfully, I'm gonna say this. Respectfully, I don't want Brook back on this team after the season. I'm cool. We need to move on. He's too much of a liability defensively. It's too much. Bobby, Brook are the reason this team have a ceiling because of how inept they are defensively, especially when you have both of them in the game. I'm cool. We finished the year with Brook. I hope he has a great finish to the season. I do not want to see Brook back in a Bucks uniform. It's enough now. It's enough. I'm just cool. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it in the comment section, but I'm really cool on Brook, and I'm standing on it. I'm cool on Brook. AJ Green with a decent game, 3 of 9 from 3, 9 points. I'm waiting. AJ Green is interesting to me because I know he can shoot, but I haven't seen him have a heater in quite some time. I'm really waiting for him to have a breakout game. It's been a while since he's had a breakout game. I hope AJ Green can get back going, especially playing 37 minutes. I would expect a little bit more from him than 9 points. And shout out to Ryan Rollins today. Ryan Rollins played well playing 30 minutes today, 15 points. He played really well, especially in the second half. His first half was shaky, but the second half he played very, very well. shout out to Ryan Rollins. He played well. I know you're going to look at Jericho Sims and see 18 minutes, and you see he didn't score. He did have 5 rebounds, assists, and a block. But what I will tell you, our defensive plus minus is much better with him in the game. I'm just keeping it real. And you can see it. He can move. He can jump. The athleticism. I know he doesn't have the offense, but he's like a center Ajax. Wild athletic, and that's just about it. But at least defensively he can move because, hey y'all, Brook was getting absolutely annihilated in the pick and roll. He was getting annihilated in the pick and roll today. He is not capable of playing against a team that has an athletic big like Sarr. Sarr was cooking today. He was cooking. And Pat Connaughton playing 11 minutes is a travesty. He didn't need to play in this game at all. Kevin Porter Jr. should have played 30 minutes in this game. 30 plus minutes. The fact that Pat Connaughton played in this game lets me know I don't believe in Doc. I'm going to start the conversation now. I'm going to be the first. I don't believe in Doc. I don't think he has the mental aptitude to lead this team. He does so much foolishness with these rotations, and some of these lineups are just insane to me. They're insane. I don't feel he prepares this team enough either. If it was up to me and I had the opportunity, I would move on from Doc Rivers as well for a more younger, modern coach. Seriously. And I mean clear that whole staff out, because I don't think that all them Voltron and Transformers he got on the bench, as far as these coaches, they supposed to be so great. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I'm keeping it real as possible. I don't see it. Y'all know, y'all gonna let me know in the comment section. I just don't see it. Pat Connaughton 11 minutes is crazy. Gary Trent Jr. Had a slow game today, especially from 3, 0 of 7 from 3. He did have 9 points, but the man of the hour and possibly getting the game ball, if we can pull this off, is Kevin Porter Jr. 5 of 10, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 12 points, and that dunk was nasty. That Kevin Porter Jr. dunk nasty. That's 2 games in a row that he's had 2 just ridiculous dunks. Hey, what I tell y'all about Andre Jackson Jr., look at his minutes. He played 3 minutes. In my Adrian Broner voice, that boy cooked. He cooked. It's a wrap. Ryan Rollins and and KPJ hooping, and you think you just gonna be a defensive player and get some tick? I told y'all, I didn't think it was gonna happen this fast, but he almost on Pat Connaughton status. Unfortunately, until he gets some offense, he on Pat Connaughton status. It just is what it is. 48% from the field right now. We shot really poorly from 3, only 29%. And the free throw shooting was atrocious today. This game should have been over if it wasn't for some of this free throw shooting. A professional team shooting 65% from the free throw line is insane. That's insane. 17 to 26 is crazy. We have 43 total rebounds, 24 assists, 11 steals, which is impressive, 6 blocks, 16 turnovers. We were just careless with the ball, and we got to hold Giannis responsible. Giannis had 7 of the 16, so he had almost half of our turnovers, just Giannis. So that's a little wild. Alex Sarr had him a game. He was loving that pick and roll on Brook, loving the pick and roll. Young man had 8 of 19, 4 of 10, 2 of 6, 7 rebounds, 22 points. Khris Middleton played well, 24 minutes, 4 of 9, 1 of 3, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 12 points. That's who Khris Middleton is now, y'all. I'm telling you the truth. There's no disrespect to Middleton. That's who Middleton is now. 24 minutes, 4, 9, 12. That's what he does now. I'm just keeping it real. It was people saying he was gonna do all this and that. I'm like, it could happen, but he is who he is with his current body. So shout out to Mitty though. Glad he had a solid performance. Jordan Poole did nothing. The dude that was hurting us was Kispert. Kispert was getting off from three for a little bit. He definitely was hurting us from three. We got 5 seconds left, y'all. 104, 101. Bucks with the lead. Can we get 2 in a row here on back-to-back? I told y'all in the chat, no excuses. I don't care about back-to-back. Get it done. Back-to-back. Get it done. All these excuses for these professional athletes that got the top-tier food, top-tier equipment, and they can't play back-to-back. You should be able to. That's crazy. They shot 40% from the field, 31% from 3, 70% from the line. The what hurt us in this game too is that they doubled us in bench production. Their bench showed up for them. Ours didn't really show up, and that's obviously due to rotations being different with so many people out. We didn't have Dame, we didn't have Taurean Prince. I mean, we had a ton of people out, so that's kind of to be expected. Let's go Bucks! We got the win. Let's go Bucks! All right, I got my this the Dame hat for this year from the Bucks. Fairly dope. Little Dame hat here, little Dame action. Y'all know I'm a Dame supporter. Hey, the rebounding. Hey, I know it's the Wizards, but what I can say this positive that I always black out on the Bucks about is rebounding. Only 8 offensive rebounds. We got 8. 25 to 24 assists. I'm not mad at that. We conceded 16 points off turnovers. That's regular Buck stuff. To their 10. Fast break points, they hurt us a little bit. It's the points in the paint. Y'all keep telling me about Brook is a rim protector. Why are teams always scoring 50 to 60 points on us in the paint if Brook is a rim protector? How does that happen? If you're protecting the rim, how are we getting that many points scored on us in the paint? Y'all got to explain to me, make it make sense. That definitely hurt us, the points in the paint, and obviously the bench points, which they don't have on here, but it was definitely doubled up. But nonetheless, Bucks get a win. Hey, we got to keep grooving, and like I said, we got to keep stacking these wins, y'all. March is around the corner. You already know what time it is in March. So I'm happy about the win for the Bucks. Let's see who all in the chat. Let's get it cracking after this tough Bucks win. Salute the friends and family again. Best in the business. What up, Patricia P? What up, Robert Brooks? Rigo, what's good? Sadowski, what's good? I thought I saw Chitty hating on Dame in the chat earlier. Shout out to Chitty. Rigo, what's good? The legendary Mr. Cool. Robert, what's good? The homie Dre West. God got me, what's good? Milwaukee Ray in the building. Big 49, what's good? Hey, Big 49. Hey, one of my favorite young rappers is Big 30. I don't know if you know who Big 30 is, but that's one of my favorite rappers. Eli Harris in the building. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Queens of the chat in here early. I saw Boy Mommy in here earlier. Foreign Land. Cynthia. What's good, ladies? Shout out to Eliza. The Brandon King Carter in the building. What's good? William Johnson. What's good? Appreciate you tapping in. Make sure I catch everybody. Greg Delaney in the building. Derek Stevenson. Vincent McMurdery. What's good, bro? Salute. Appreciate you tapping in. Let's get to these comments. This is another nail biter game, y'all. Another nail biter. Them turnovers too, they made this game way harder than it needed to be. But you know what I want to give the Bucks credit on, because we always bomb on the Bucks, and like I say, when you do right, we gonna treat you right. The Bucks played well in the third quarter tonight. The Bucks played extremely well in the third quarter. That second and third quarter saved us today. That second and third quarter saved us because we started off really slow in this game. That first quarter, I saw y'all in the chat. It's over. We're gonna get blown out. Y'all know how y'all get all dramatic. Just right away. We got 3 whole quarters left. Y'all, oh, it's over. We can't do it. There's no I said relax. We got a whole game ahead of us. And look where we are now, victorious. It ain't over till the zeros on the clock. You always believe in your team until the clock shows all zeros. You can't have 36 minutes of a game left and then already think your team gonna lose. That's insanity. Now, if it's 2 minutes left and you down 20, yeah, it's a wrap. Then I get it. But if it's the first quarter and you already think it's a wrap, like, come on, you gotta believe. Have a little faith. You gotta have a little faith, y'all. Have a little faith. But man, hey, Kevin Porter Jr. is a steal. Hey, John Horst might have saved his legacy with Kevin Porter Jr. That dude is a problem. He's exactly what we need. He's exactly what we need. Another ball handler. He can create his own shot. Yo, Kevin Porter Jr., just keep your nose clean, fam, and just focus on hooping. You got a home here, bro. The people is messing with you, bro. You hooping, you're dunking on people. We haven't had that type of athleticism in a while. You know what I'm saying? So, Kevin Porter Jr., definitely a difference maker. He's going to be an X factor once playoff time comes. And Doc is going to have to figure out how to manage rotations on his team. He does some of the most idiotic rotations that I've ever seen, and I just don't understand why. Like even this Pat Connaughton playing 11 minutes today, it really bothers me. It really bothers me. Like I'm really tight. Like Doc, what value is Pat Connaughton giving to us that shouldn't those minutes be going to Kevin Porter Jr.? What type of numbers does Kevin Porter Jr. put up with another 7 minutes of game time? Instead, you want to put in your golf buddy. You see Brooke getting killed in the pick and roll, and you wait until the absolute dire straits before you put in Jericho Sims. Sometimes, Doc, you got to get out of your own way. You just believe in some of these older players so much that it dilutes your vision from seeing what the youth has. We won this game because of our youth. We won this game because of the young guys. Kevin Porter Jr. hooping. Kyle Kuzma hooping. Young legs is what's winning us these games. Doc, you got to figure it out, bro. Otherwise, you need to get up out of here, bro. I'm not going to even hold y'all. I'm cool on Doc. Let me read this. My boy Chitty back to what he does. Salute to Chitty. Dame, you better rake up for real, or KPJ is going to take your place and you get traded with probably just one championship. Damn, where that come, man? You know what? Shout out to Chitty. Shout out to Chitty. That's the homie. Shout out to Chitty. Ed Bizzle, appreciate the $5, homie. Shout out to Ed Bizzle, appreciate the $5 super chat. Someone said get Marcus Smart. That's like a Jay Crowder replay. Facts. Oh, yeah, I don't want nothing to do with Marcus Smart. He don't even play like that. He's super unavailable. No, I'm cool on Mark. I never co-signed Marcus Smart. And at his price tag, no. Like that's crazy. Robert says KPJ makes for less anxiety and more confidence for the young fellas out there. That's an interesting comment. I can see that, like them, like the younger guys feeding off of KPJ's energy. I feel that. I like that. Yeah, salute. Dre West said they're playing a live with him though in the pick and roll. Are you talking about Brooke? Dre West, if you still in the chat, let me know. Milwaukee Ray said, God got me. I noticed that too yesterday when he was guarding Kawhi. He played good defense. Yeah, the defense. Absolutely. I'm going to open the lines here in a second, but let me get through the comment section here, y'all. Hey, Patricia P said, Rollins said KPJ ain't going to show me up. No, Rollins needed a bounce back game today. Rollins has been struggling and KPJ has been shining since he got here. So this is a great bounce back performance by Rollins. But by Rollins performing like this, that also pushes Andre Jackson Jr. further down in the depth chart. Like if you're looking at the last of the last, you're going to say probably Jericho Sims, or no, Jericho Sims, Pat Connaughton, and it's about to be Ajax. Dude, he is not about to play if you got Kevin Porter Jr. there that's playing on offense and defense. Kevin Porter Jr. getting steals out there, he making plays, and all you do is play defense and you hack most of the time. Andre Jackson Jr., I am pleading with you, bro. If you want to have an extended NBA career, bro, whatever you got going on in this summer, you got to cut it off, bro. It's a wrap. You need to call somebody that played previously. I don't know, pick a guard, and they need to show you some offensive moves, bro. Because I'm telling you, you're gonna be out the league in like 3 years, bro. Just playing defense, that don't work no more. You gotta at least be able to do something else. And I like your energy. I like your athleticism, your effort on defense. But you are useless if you can't help us on offense either, Andre Jackson Jr., bro. You got to get it together. You got to figure it out. We all batting for you, too. Brandon, it's your birthday today? Happy birthday, Brandon. Sadowski said, what a game by Rollins and KPJ. We have some talent on this team, y'all. We have talent. It's up to Doc to maximize talent. But I can't trust a coach that is still playing Pat Connaughton when you have so many more superior players on the court that could take those minutes and do something with them. I do not understand his infatuation with Pat Connaughton. It doesn't make sense. There's some of his rotation. I I'm low key already cool on Doc, to keep it real. He makes too many weird mistakes and inept moves to have been coaching as long as he's been coaching and made some of the huge mistakes that he's made. It's like he's learned from nothing. And hey, like I said, this is my opinion. This is Amber from Amber's Logic talking. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. Hey, Milwaukee Ray said Poole been quiet tonight. No, he didn't show up today. He ain't show up. Mr. Cool, you've been taking a number two on Sims. Hey, Mr. Cool, we not saying that Jericho Sims is gonna be a world beater. We're just saying he can just move his feet. You saw some of the athleticism today. He does not look stiff. Brook is stiff, Mr. Cool. Come on, Mr. Cool. Give him some time. Give him some time. Good point. Hey, Big 49 said competition makes everyone better. I agree. Maybe what they're saying is true. Like maybe Kevin Porter Jr. coming in and hooping like he's hooping is putting a fire under these other young guys' butt. Like, damn, if he come in here hooping like that, he about to take all our minutes. So I agree. That's gonna make all the young guys hoop because they see now Kevin Porter Jr. is already taking minutes. So they fighting for the minutes that's left. So yeah, I agree. Great comment, Big 49. Great comment. Boy, mommy loving KPJ too. Hey, he's becoming a fan favorite quite quickly here. William Johnson, same thing. I see y'all seeing the value in KPJ. We was saying it. We was telling y'all, prepping y'all. I told y'all a couple lives ago. I'm like, hey, he about to take a lot of minutes from people, and now we're here. Just saying. My boy Chitty said Giannis always delivers. He does, but he also delivers 7 turnovers though too. Chitty, never forget that though too. We gotta tell the whole story, bro. We gotta tell the whole story. Make sure I get a couple more of these. Rigo said Giannis IQ level is so bad he's lost it sometime. Giannis doesn't have the best IQ. I agree. And I don't know if he has brain farts or what it is. Like sometimes when he get his mind set on something, it's just that. So like if Giannis says he's going to the hole, no matter who's open on the wings, he's going to the hole. And sometimes that's that 100 mile per hour thing. Is what we love about Giannis, but it's also a drawback from time to time because when you slow down a little bit, it allows you to observe what's going on in your peripheral, and instead he has a lot of tunnel vision. So if he can work on that, sometimes just take a little quick gander. You coming to the rack, just take a little quick gander, real quick, and then kick it out. Because I do see people open on the wing, but he's already made his mind up. So I understand where you're coming from with that comment, Rigo. Robert Brooks, Giannis playing low IQ basketball with his minute restrictions. He got to figure that out. He just needs to slow down sometimes. Just slow down. I mean, 7 turnovers is a lot. You can't have your best player, just like I went in on Dame when he had like 7, 8 turnovers. Your best player cannot turn the ball over that many times. It's just not it's not feasible to continue to win games. What up, RJ? Back, the homie back in the building. Shout out to the over the pond in the UK. What up, bro? Appreciate you. Good to see you. Homie from the UK tapping in. No strays, ENT, our favorite op. Who on the Wizard worth 6'5"? That's the thing. Sometimes Giannis gotta slow down and take in consideration the situation. You know Dame is out. So you know Torian Prince is out. You have to play good defense, but not in a way to get yourself in trouble. Giannis needed to think like, okay, I could give up these 2 points or foul out the game. He goes for the foul out the game. He's got to start to rationalize what's actually happening and slow down and not just go with the brute force. Sometimes you got to use finesse, Giannis. Everything isn't brute force. Sometimes you got to use finesse. And finesse means thinking it through before just making a decision and no matter what, going with it. I hope over time and over the rest of this year, he can maybe start to develop that. And I also want to say too, I like Kevin Porter Jr. as a playmaker too. He's a very solid playmaker. Tony Tone said, "Y'all see why we need Dame?" No, they'll never admit that, bro. They'll never admit that. They'll never admit that. That's ridiculous commentary for you to say, bro. You know how Bucks Nation feel about Dame. Dame could be averaging 35 points a game. They'll be like, "Yo, why isn't he averaging 40?" If he was a Portland, he would average 40, right? Right? The Dame slander is crazy. What up, Jeff Riley? Salute. Bucks #1 in the building. Mia Kim, I see y'all. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Mia Kim said this is not a playoff contending team. I think fully healthy, we are a contending team. I do feel we should be able to get out the first round, possibly the second, depending on how matchups break out. My fear, more so than the players, is our coach and coaching staff. I don't feel like they help these guys. I'm just keeping it real. Yo, like, Doc, y'all have all of the tools available. Anything money can buy to make this team better, as far as film, as far as treatment, all of that stuff. And I gotta keep it real. Doc Rivers, this team makes the same mistakes since you got here. I haven't seen no improvement. We just will ourselves to win. Somebody get hot like KPJ did, but it's not due to you preparing this team to be successful. I see no preparation from Doc Rivers with this team. Otherwise, we wouldn't make the same mistakes. How are you not addressing the drop coverage already or making it situational? You just sit there and watching us getting cooked in the pick and roll. You do nothing. Doc, man. I don't believe in Doc. I'm gonna start going in. I don't believe in Doc. Whatever happened, happened. I don't believe in Glenn Rivers. It's just what it is. I'm just keeping it real. Smitty said Giannis and Kuzma goofy. Got them back in the game. Just playing out of control. They gonna have that though, Smitty. Shout out to Smitty, bro. It's been a minute. Those are two players you got to go with that because they're high energy players and they're going to be careless and a little reckless. Giannis is reckless and Kuzma is reckless. They're similar in that fashion. They're very aggressive, want to go downhill, and that you got to take the good with the bad, right? Same with Kuzma. Kuzma can't shoot free throws, but he got a lot of energy. He clearly has some solid basketball IQ, but he gonna take a crazy shot or a crazy pass every now and again. You just gotta it's the cost of doing business. What up, Trina? What up, Pronte? Good to see the Pronte in the crib. What's good, bro? Eric Payne in the building said hit the like button, please do. To the Best Bucks podcast on YouTube. Just saying. Oliver's story was good. Hey, hit the like button, y'all. We the best in the business, I promise you. Scouts honor. Hit the like button, y'all. Show appreciation for the content and the community we have here. Salute. Rigo said AJ Green got benched for Ron. AJ Green he's been struggling, like I said a little bit earlier. I hope he needs a breakout performance. Salute to the General 78 Sports TV with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, famo, the legend. Worst game I ever seen Giannis play, but I think he was favoring his leg and nervous with Khris. Rollins and KPJ are the truth. Doc is tripping on the hold on one second. Doc is tripping on the Rollins critics. The Rollins critiques. Critique yourself, Doc. No prep at all. See what I'm saying? Bro, this is why 78 is my dude. I was just saying that 78. Man, shout out to my man 78. Where is the prep, bro? I'm not even trying to be funny, bro. Like, where is the prep? We don't look prepared. We don't even know how to break a press. We got to start holding Doc accountable for what he's not doing. I know he can't go on the court and play for the players, but he can put the players in positions to be effective. I know that Phil Jackson had Kobe and Mike and all of that, but he put them in positions to be successful. That's what a coach is supposed to do. Popovich put Kawhi in situations to be successful. Tim Duncan, great coaches put you in positions to be successful. I don't see the value that Doc Rivers, besides being a guy, he's a locker room guy. He can keep the attitudes at bay, and he's is a player's coach. But we need a coach that's actually coaching the players, showing them issues in the film room, showing us how we can get better. Because I see the same stuff, man. Same stuff. Damn it, Doc. Get on my last nerve sometimes. We got this crazy coaching staff with all these former head coaches. Why is no one stepping up? Ridiculous. Luke Lipinski said our starting lineup should be Dame, Prince, Kuzma, Giannis, Brook. Our bench should be Gary Trent, Kevin Porter, AJ Green, Ryan Rollins. I'm not mad at that. It's just, damn, we don't have no side. I mean, missing Bobby for these 25 games and only relying on Brook and Jericho Sims puts us in a very difficult situation, friends and family. We got both players that are polar opposites. We got Brook that's a finesse player but has zero athleticism, and then we have Jericho Sims that has all athleticism and no finesse. If we could merge Brook and Jericho Sims together, we'd have a pretty good center. But unfortunately, we can't do that. As much as I go in on Bobby, we do miss his size. We do miss his size. As far as being a big man. Damn. What up, Sherelle? Shout out to Sherelle. I never wanted Doc. I feel you on that too. We just kind of it just worked out that way. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna leave it there. I just wasn't a fan. A lot of y'all going in on Giannis today for messing up the flow. I think he was just trying to get his thing. Get his numbers and just try to get going. What up, Scales? Salute to Scales. See all y'all in the building. What up, Leroy Washington? I agree. This was a good win, bro. Kung Fu Kenny, what up, bro? Said, let's go. Rollins and Kevin Porter Jr. were definite difference makers today. I agree, boy, mommy. Emotional seeing the reunions of both Khris and Kuz. Yeah, I agree. It felt a little weird seeing, officially seeing Middleton in a different uniform. Hey, we not doing that. Hey, Scales, we not doing that, bro. Yo. Shout out to Scales. Wildin'. Jeff Riley said Aaron Brook did get a game-saving block. Yes, he did. I'm gonna leave it there. You right, Jeff. You right. What up? What up, Kerry? I'm just saying. I know. Hey, the homie Chris B said it's hard seeing Chris. It is. It is. It's a little wild. It's a little wild. Yeah. I don't for what said don't care. Got the win. Absolutely. That's what matters most. What up, Kenny Mac? Salute, salute. William Belmer said Racine in here. Shout out to Ray Silla. What's good? Shout out to Ray Silla. Anthony Lacey in the building. Doc has to get a lot of stuff going, bro. Salute to you. What up, Prime Time? Robert Allen in the building too. I see you, Bleach Report boss. Let me put the link in the chat. DJ Drew TV, what's good? I'm putting a link in the chat so y'all can tap in. Hold on 1 second. Y'all got me all types of tight talking about Doc. This man had the audacity to play Pat Connaughton 11 minutes in a professional basketball game is insane. That's just insane. Like, what are you thinking about? What up, Nemesis and Viper? Robert said 25 games for a painkiller is excessive, in my opinion. Understood, but technically, me talking to a few people I know in the medical field, it's considered an opiate. And somebody was saying it in the chat section too, under one of the videos. It's considered an opiate. That's why it's addictive and it's an opiate. So that's why he got the 25 game. It's a big difference between tramadol and that other one. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Hey, Jeff Riley said Aaron don't want Doc in the front office either. He would do a worse job than Horace. Another person that needs to go is Jimmy Haslam. He's the one who brought Doc here. Damn, you came for all of the. Shout out to Jeff in the OC. What up, Viper? Let me put a link in the chat, y'all. Tap in where y'all feel like it. 2 Red Violin in the building. 2 Red Violin said, I don't understand why Giannis gets so disrespected by Bucks fans. Question his intelligence after everything he's done for this team is a bit sad. No, it's not. That's the thing. You got to take the emotion out of it, 2 Red Violin. Are you telling me when you watch Giannis play, you don't think he has tunnel vision from time to time, where he's just like, if I want to go to the hole, I'm just going to the hole, regardless of what is available to him on the wings? Come on, bro. We're just being constructed. We just can't. Are you also gonna say then, 2 Red Violin, that it's okay that Giannis is shooting 50% from the line? We have to critique everyone equally, even MVPs, Finals MVPs. They gotta get critiqued. Giannis had 7 turnovers today. That's low IQ basketball. 7 turnovers, 2 Red Violin. 7. That's low IQ basketball. No, it just is what it is. We have to call it out. You shoot 50% from the free throw line. That's not good. So that gives you room for improvement. That's it. It's giving you room for improvement. It's no shade. We love Giannis. I always give Giannis props, but we got to call out what we see. Just like if I'm seeing Brook getting killed in the pick and roll, I'm going to call it out. Hey, Dre West said I stand with Doc. All right, bro. Damn it, Dre West. You better than that. Come on, bro. WFSO said Khris Middleton didn't have a great game tonight. I bet Barrett gonna make an excuse about it. Hilarious. Shout out to WFSO. What up, Robin? Said, where's Thanasis? We need that aura. Yeah, I haven't seen Thanasis in a little bit. Y'all seen him on the bench, but that's a great one. I agree. King Temp said, praying Giannis and Dame take care of themselves. We need their legs to be working for the playoffs. Facts. What up, Mr. 414? We about to tap into legends. We lost. Hey, I don't know what happened to Dr. Smith, but tap back in when you get a chance. We tapping in Pronte. What up, Tay? Tap in Pronte. What up? Oh, here comes Dr. Smith. Hold on 1 second before you get started. We got to tap in Dr. Smith here. Hold on 1 second. What up, Pronte? What up, Dr. Smith? Another grinder by the Bucks. making it harder than it need to be. It is what it
Yeah.
is. The bottom left, we got Pronte. Bottom right, we got Dr. Smith. Two well-respected members of the Bucks community here. We're going to start with Pronte and go to Dr. Smith. Shout out to you, Pronte. Go ahead, bro. Kick it off.
What up? I thought the Bucks played. I mean, as expected. To be honest, I don't know what people are expecting, but just to get a win on a back-to-back on the road is a good thing. So I
I
don't
agree.
understand why people are like overcritical. I mean, you got Dame not playing. You got
Torian Prince.
3 or 4 new players. You got new rotations. You got Giannis on minute restrictions. That's an easy loss in any other day.
Yeah.
So people like what? Like I don't understand the criticism of Giannis or anybody. Anybody. A win is a win in this situation.
No,
We
no, it's
going for
not about.
no.
I'm
We
with
going
you on
for
the win,
playoff
but I'm
season.
just saying you get 7
Like
turnovers. That's seven
this
turnovers.
the
Dame
Bucks
gets
are
7 turnovers. We
extremely
gonna talk about
restricted.
it.
Like any other team would have probably lost this game.
I agree.
So the way I'm looking at it is, I'm looking at a glass half empty, not like glass half full, not
Right.
empty. I mean, what are we talking about here? Like last year, they'd have lost this game easily. So I mean, you got Kuzma, you got Giannis on minute restrictions. When have we seen Giannis can't play on minutes restriction? We know that. That doesn't make any sense for Giannis. So of course he looked like he ain't played in 3 weeks. I mean, what are y'all talking about? Like people are criticizing Giannis as if he played in 3 weeks, coming off a calf injury on minute restrictions. This is new territory for him. He don't know how to play like that, and we all know that. But Dame, I mean, last game, Dame 2 for 12.
Yeah.
Off, I mean, people are returning from Cancun, y'all,
Yeah.
and you can see
I agree.
you can see
I
the
agree.
rust on them. Like you see the rust on all of us, and to get these 2 wins back to back,
I
I mean,
agree.
you gotta be encouraged by that. This isn't the best version of the Bucks, of course, but we won 2 games. We fighting for
Dude,
playoffs now.
hold on 1 second. Chitty, bro, it's not devaluing. You cannot just say everything is perfect all the time, bro. 6 fouls in 20
I mean,
minutes
I
and
think low IQ is a
seven
little
turnovers and
low IQ is a
50% from
stretch
the free
though.
throw line. I mean, you gotta
Bad
call that
free throw
out.
shooting is bad free throw shooting, but low IQ is a stretch. Turnovers are rust. They're not necessarily low IQ.
I
You
understand
know
what
what I
you're
mean?
saying, but I'm
Rust and low
still
IQ
saying
are
that
two
that needs
different
to be
things.
discussed. If
We gotta
anybody
understand
has
that.
7 turnovers,
Every
it has
time
to be
Giannis makes a turnover,
discussed.
it can't be low IQ. It's just rust. It's just rust. Like it ain't low IQ. That wasn't low IQ, but I didn't see him throwing to people. That was just rusty play. It had nothing to do with low IQ. So I think people just love to say the same thing about the same players. That's it. Like be more nuanced with your takes. That's all I'm saying. You know, Giannis is rusty. We can tell. The whole team is rusty. The whole team is new. That's all it using that and with a rusty new team is kind of good. This is a new Bucks team, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Like and they don't know each other like that. They don't know each other's going to be the most rustiest players. Is not actually Giannis. It's actually Gary Trent and AJ Green. Just think about what Gary Trent was doing before the All Star break, and then think about how he's playing now. You know what I mean? He's missing everything right now. AJ Green's missing everything right now. If them two players hit the shots they normally make, this game's a blowout. So once they get locked in, the Bucks have no issues here. Like once Dame gets locked in, the Bucks have no issues. But I would like to, and then we got Cool going on against what's his name,
It's a
Sims.
Jericho Sims, Mr. Coolman,
I
boy.
don't understand it. I
Right.
don't know what
And
y'all
I
thought
just want to
Sims was going to
clarify
be.
something real quick. I'm not saying like Giannis is a low IQ basketball player. I'm saying there were some low IQ plays. That's how you get 7 turnovers. That's what
I
I'm
mean,
clarifying because
it
they
just looked
going at
like
it in the
rust.
chat.
It
I
looked
just
like
want to make sure I
Middleton just
clarify
looked
in the
like
chat.
rust to me. It just looked like rust. I mean,
No, that's
Chris
fine.
Middleton taking charge is just Chris Middleton's game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Chris Middleton knows Giannis. He hurried up and slid over there. So it
Right.
wasn't. I mean, but
Mine
it's
is
just.
kind of in between.
Go ahead, huh?
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just saying it like
No,
I was
but
thinking.
Yeah,
but
because
I
they
just think
keep
that the
saying I'm
Bucks.
calling him a dumb player. I'm not saying that. I'm saying some of those 7 turns. Yes, it's rust, but it was just some low IQ plays. You forcing it. You try that.
I
I
think a
say
lot
that
of the
about a
Bucks
lot of play.
disjointed.
If you make a
I
low
think a lot of
IQ
the Bucks
play,
are. A lot
yeah,
of the Bucks are disjointed though. Like a lot
yeah,
of the team is disjointed. It's a disjointed play. You got Kevin Porter Jr. now. You got I mean, these are new players. There's no Bobby Porter's in the rotation. I mean, even give Doc some grace. I mean, I
Right.
don't agree with him playing Pat Connaughton, but I mean, you don't even have Bobby Portis. That's your go-to six man. He's gone. You see what I'm saying? You got Giannis on minute restrictions. 18 minutes today. That's not Giannis.
I'm not
You
giving
got
him a
Dame
pass
out of
on.
the
I'm not
game.
giving him a pass on Pat Connaughton. Pat
I mean,
Connaughton
you
did
got
not.
Dame. I mean, just saying, you got Dame out of the
Okay,
game for the
let
whole
me
game.
just say this though. Let me just
You
say
just
this.
got this is
If
Kevin Porter
Kevin
Jr.'s
Porter Jr.
third
played
game.
23 minutes, right?
It's his third
You
game though.
give him Pat minutes. There was no reason for Pat to enter the game under any circumstances. We still got Gary Trent. We got Kevin Porter Jr. We got
I'm not
Andre
saying that.
Jackson Jr. All of those options
I
are better
said
than Pat
I
Connaughton.
said I said I didn't give him no grace, but
Mm.
as a coach, you gonna go what you know. You know, you're not gonna you getting used to Kevin Porter Jr. You see what I'm saying? Like this is
Mm-hmm.
new players that you're trying to insert and find a role and rotation for the bigger picture. This is not about this game. So at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, everything's disjointed for the Bucks to get wins in these circumstances is a very good sign to
Right.
me. So my thing is like I'm gonna give Doc a pass for the next week. You know, because players got to get healthy. You
Right.
know, players got to get back to playing basketball again. He has a whole new team to work with now. He has to find
Facts.
proper roles, rotations, and minutes. That's just the reality of the situation. Now it's a better situation than last year because instead of getting slower, we got faster. You know, we got more of that. We got a more talented player in Kevin Porter Jr.
Right. I
He's
agree.
a more talented player. The problem is Bobby Portis went out. So now you don't got that stable, consistent 15 points, post up, get a jumper, bad defense. You know what
Mm-hmm.
he gonna do, but you know what he gonna give you against, especially against a weak team like the Wizards. You know what I mean? So now you got to find somebody to replace him. It's not Jericho Sims because he can't shoot.
And that's the
So
problem. I wish we could just merge them together. If you could just merge Jericho Sims and Brook together, they would be a solid big man. Together, they would be a solid big man.
yeah, but you just need to know how to use Jericho Sims.
Yeah.
Pick and roll lives. That's all you got to do. Pick and roll lives. I mean, if he don't got it, he don't got it. You know what I mean? He ain't
Yeah.
gonna give you no more than that.
We
You
should
know
be
what I
running
mean? So
whatever's I forgot who mentioned it. Whatever Trey Young run with Clint Capella is what we should be running with Jericho Sims.
what you run with Giannis is what you run with Jericho Sims. Just a pick and roll where you drive with Dame and you just throw it up. You give them options, just like Capella. Like you said, it's the same stuff. But the
Mm-hmm.
Bucks ain't running it yet because they trying to figure out rotations. They trying to figure out who playing, trying to figure out who's going to lose their minutes, who's going to come in the game. Does Ajax stay playing? I mean, this is all moving parts right here.
Right.
So I give them pass, but to get wins in those situations is good. You know,
No,
I'm glad
I'm
glad we
happy we
played the
won.
Wizards. That's all I'm saying. I'm just
Right.
glad we played the Wizards. And where's Barrett at?
We're not gonna do it like that. Hey, all you know what? I'm
Oh
happy
my god!
Middleton
No,
had a
no,
solid.
I'm gonna leave it
Middleton
to
had a
Pat.
solid game, but he is who he is now. That's all I'm saying. That's what I was telling Bucks fans before. Him putting
No.
12 to 16 points. That's who he is right now. In about 25 minutes. That's him now, and it's not a bad thing. But you have to be reasonable with your expectations. That's all.
I mean, yeah, that's all we were saying the whole time.
Tired of the whole,
Because
and that's
Middleton's
why
a
people
shell of
think I'm,
himself.
slandering people. I'm not slandering you. I'm just being honest for what we're seeing. You know what I'm saying? You could see that there was a decline. You could see there's always going to be flashes. You're a professional player. You're going to get hot. You're going to have flashes. But are you going to be able to do that consistent is the issue. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm
even
just saying, like,
mm,
we were asking Khris Middleton to do too much.
too much. There we go. That's fair.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
how I'm gonna give him that. And people were thinking about Khris Middleton as the player he was, not the player he is. You know, and that's the bottom line. Like it happens to every basketball player. We all know. And Khris Middleton is the player he is. Now, can he give you a game? Yeah. Can he give you 2 games back to that? Probably not. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Is he more like a 12-pointer player game? Yes, he probably is. You know, is he laboring up and down the court? Yes, he probably is. You know, but does he have a little couple tricks up his sleeve? Yes, he does.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Fair point. Right.
That's all we're saying. But if you're gonna rely on Middleton to give you 40 points in the playoffs, good luck. Good luck winning that championship. It ain't happening.
And like I
So
said, I was never disrespecting Khris Middleton, nothing like that. But if y'all see since at the trade, then we're gonna get to Dr. Smith here. Look at the pace that we're playing with. Look at the speed that we're playing with now. We're getting up more shots. I'm just saying that when you see Giannis and
Kuzma,
Kuzma on a running the break, It's great, and
Kevin Porter
even
Jr.
Dame is starting to understand. Okay, I'm not gonna bring it up fast. Let me push it to Kuzma because Kuzma's gonna drive. And I saw Kuzma running a little bit of point. Kuzma showing me more in his bag than I thought he had too. I'm gonna say that Kuzma got more in his bag than I thought he had. I'm gonna say that right now.
The most impressive thing about Kuzma for is his defense.
Call
I
it
think
out. Call it out, Pate.
I honestly think that like Dame and Giannis are going to have to carry the offensive load in the playoffs because Kuzma offensive game is a little sloppy. You're not getting those foul calls in the playoffs, so he's going to have to figure out how to make more shots without relying on fouls. That's all I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
because some of his shots are just sloppy. So he's going to have to figure that out before the end of the season for sure.
Right.
But his defense is going to help the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks defense today was good. The Bucks defense last game was good. So you have to understand that the defense and people are talking about tight on Jericho Sims. His defense, the Bucks defense when he's in the game is much better. And that's the bottom line. That's why we wanted him. It wasn't for his offense. It was just so he can
Why
play
don't
the pick
people
and roll defense,
understand
and
that?
it was an automatic bucket. And that's what he proved. And yeah,
And
he
that's
can
what it
read.
is. And that sounds crazy to say, but it's almost an automatic bucket on Brook in the pick and roll. They were hunting Brook today in the pick and roll. They were
Now,
hunting
And
Brook.
go
and
ahead.
what's an almost automatic bucket on Brook is an absolute automatic bucket on Bobby. So I mean, absolute. You might score 4 points on one play. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He's way better defender than Bobby Portis is.
I
Let's
agree. I'm proud they won though. They fought though today. They played with some more pride. Getting KPJ Kuzma, they played with some energy though. We needed them type of players, especially Kevin Porter Jr. He
It's up to
solidified
Doc.
our
It's
bench
up
in
to
such
Doc
a
to
way that
organize
is
the team now.
crazy right now.
This is what the coaches get paid to do. Organize your team, put the players in the right spot, and then start playing organized basketball. You know what I mean? You got a lot of moving parts. Organize your team. This is what coaches get paid to do. We're going to see what Doc can do. We shouldn't see no more Pat Connaughton once Giannis and Dame comes back full speed. We shouldn't expect to see Pat Connaughton. That's just a blowout. We know that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, but I like the fact that you can take Dame off the court a little bit more.
With
You know,
KPJ. Right.
and give him some rest. You know what I mean? You could take
So are
Giannis
we
off the
still
court a
saying
little bit more.
KPJ off the bench?
Yes. For
Yes.
Okay,
me,
I'm just confirming. I'm
yes.
just confirming. Okay.
For me,
Yes.
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 Okay. No,
But
Maybe
I
not.
agree. But
Maybe not in
I
the
mean, in
playoffs.
the chat be going back and forth. It be some serious arguments in the chat. If he should start, if it'd be better, but the backcourt would be too small.
Yeah.
and it's not just that. It's he's your Ginobili now, right? Everyone that comes off the bench is not necessarily. Every time someone comes off the bench is not necessarily a statement on you being like the sixth best player, right? We need someone else to organize the other guys, right? But I'll wait to bring that in. I'll wait to, you know what I mean?
Go
Because
ahead.
that's what.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's on you, Dr. Smith. You cooking
You-
already. Hold on one second. Yeah,
Well,
go ahead
well,
now. Now
I
it's
would I
official
would
for Dr.
say
Smith.
I would just say, well, firstly, introductions first, right? It's always a pleasure when I get an opportunity to speak with Ponte on the panel
Right.
because I don't,
Shout out to Tay.
always two ships passing in the night. I don't get to,
Mhm.
you know what I mean. So it's always good, right? Let me start off with the fact that we got KPJ for Marjan Beauchamp. Just let that sink
Steal of the season. Steal of the season.
and it's my understanding that that was it, right? There was nothing else. It was just a player for player
Yeah.
trade. Wow. So Jay Crowder, once upon a time, for 4 picks, which had me on the low trying to find out where John Horst lived,
Right.
right? To Marjan Beauchamp for KPJ, and I've officially called off the search because I was zeroing in. I
Yo.
was zeroing in on where he lived, right? I was just if it depended on what we did come playoffs, but I don't know if he was gonna be able to come back. Of course, I'm joking, AI.
Right.
Right. I would say the point or the analogy that I was gonna use would have been picture you got like an instruction manual to put together a couch, right, or a
Mm-hmm.
bookshelf, right? You finally get the bookshelf together, right? Then someone comes along, takes all the pieces apart, right? You just barely memorize where all that stuff went, and you needed an instruction manual to do that. And now they take a bunch of pieces that you thought were critical before, and they replace them with some better pieces, but you don't know exactly how they fit in the very beginning. It's going to take you a minute to put that bookshelf back together. Now, the bookshelf might get back together better than the original version, but it's going to take you a second. You know what I mean? Patience for the chat. Patience. Patience, right? This is a team that did not go through training camp. They've had a limited amount of practices. I would love it if our guys could have practiced during the All-Star break. For all that we saw in the All-Star break, we could have just scrapped that and just going back to practice. Right? But they weren't allowed to do that. And so these guys are coming back, and there are players who I do think will fit better than the original version, and it's going to be different. It's going to be more athletic. Let me tell you what it is I saw, right? When it comes to like the Giannis low IQ conversation, because I think it can be kind of in between, right? I don't think Giannis has low IQ, but I do think Giannis properly diagnosed that the team was a little sluggish in the very beginning, right? And so what he tried to do was to jolt the team alive by upping his aggression level. However, when Giannis becomes more aggressive than he naturally is, and other teams are waiting for it, he is prone to getting in foul trouble. Now, maybe he could have seen that and said, all right, I need to taper it down. However, if he does that, who else is jolting the team alive? So now you're between a rock and a hard place, because they were not playing, understandably, they were not playing with that level of violent intensity, because they are on the second night of a back-to-back. Previous version of this Bucks, in my opinion, would have lost this game.
Agreed.
Guys just would have had their hands on their hips, and they just would have just been like, look, well, it's a built-in excuse. We don't have the energy. This team figured out a way to come back against a team, albeit they are the Washington Generals, no question. But they are the Washington Generals with our guy, firstly, over there, who's been rested, and they've had 8 days of rest. The Bucks had less than 24 hours of rest, right? Because they played less than 24 hours before they had to.
We just
right,
chopped it up.
right. Every time I've seen the Bucks play in the second night of a back-to-back this year, the first thing to go is that attention to detail and that energy to focus in on the details. And more often, we've lost. It's a built-in loss, right? It doesn't matter who it's against. It's a built-in loss. We found a way to figure out how to win this game. We had enough energy to win this game. Pat Connaughton went in because in the very beginning, no one was giving Doc really good answers. And then the team settled. And then once again, we got Kevin Porter Jr. for Marjon Beauchamp. I need to say that again, right? He comes into the game. We have a lot of pieces to me that were scattered before without someone drawing those pieces in, right? He comes in and it starts to make more sense. He comes in and Gary Trent Jr. and Kevin Porter Jr. start playing well off of each other. They had a two-man game going. Gary Trent hasn't had a two-man game going with anyone on his team up until this point. He's a catch-and-shoot guy who played good defense, or gambling defense. He had a two-man game going with Kevin Porter Jr. That's impressive. Immediately, right? They're building. They're building. For guys who were complaining about Sims, right? Sims was a developmental player in New York. He comes here and hits the reset button. Of course, it's going to look a little rusty at times. Here's what I also know. Sims was out there on the perimeter and wasn't getting absolutely annihilated every time he switched out. You know who was getting absolutely annihilated? And this is not me taking shots at Bobby Portis, but Bobby Portis out on the perimeter is a bucket. It's a
Correct.
bucket, right? Now, Bobby Portis' value on the team is what he can do offensively. Clearly, this is not what Sims can do for us, right? It's a different thing. But if you have someone like Sims, then your offense is going to come from somewhere else, but you still, for the most part, are able to keep your defensive integrity. And that's what I'm noticing about this team. There are times when we had to come back. We were down by 16 points. And then all of a sudden, we just shut the faucet off and we were able to get rebounds, the type of stuff that we weren't able to get before. Rebounds, like, and just staying in front of people. So even when guys were rusty and rugged and it looked like, oh, we're going to lose this game, we found a way with athleticism, with youth, stumbling and bumbling, because right now we don't have that instructional manual and we still won this game. I'm sorry, hold on. 2 seconds.
All
2
right.
seconds. That's my phone. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh no, go ahead. Without further ado, while you're doing that, Dr. Smith, we have another legendary member of the chat in the bottom right-hand corner, hailing from South Florida, Mr. B-Shack. Just want to say salute to him. And then we're going to finish with Dr. Smith and go back to B-Shack here. Salute. Appreciate you tapping in too, B-Shack.
But that's
Mara, how you doing, brother?
All right, bro.
Mr. Smith, Pronte. It's an honor to be on with you guys. It was a good win. We almost blew this game for a couple of reasons. One, Doc panicked in the fourth quarter and went straight to the big three. He kind of did not. He lost trust with the team that was rolling on the court a little too quick.
Mm-hmm.
Then Giannis comes in, and I hate to say it, he had a good game as far as where he's at right now, but he kind of went to a little bit of hero ball and this ISO ball, which totally killed the flow. And then he's getting stripped. His legs are not totally under him yet, and so he fouls out. And I think that Doc is going to have to realize and understand, and maybe he does, but I think teams have to recalibrate and understand what they have in Kevin Porter Jr. Because I'm just gonna say this for the whole chat watching. That mid-range step back
it's
is like
a
a
problem.
90%
Yes.
shot. That's like a shot that you say, yo, we got try to get to that spot. Okay. His rhythm, the fact that he is herky-jerky, constantly changing speeds, totally keeps the other team off balance.
You know what you're not mentioning? B-Shack. I just want to add on to that real quick.
Yeah.
He creates separation very fast. Yeah. That's what I noticed. Like, damn, you got your space that quick to get your shot off. He creates space fast. Like he's way more dynamic than I thought he was gonna be. Go ahead, B-Shack. I just wanted to throw that in there.
And that drive when he just took off and came, I was like, what?
We got one.
Yeah, man. And now I said last night, I said Ryan Rollins has lost his backup job. Now, no one should be thrown off by what happened tonight. Dame was out. And if Kevin Porter Jr. had started, we'd have lost our punch off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to start Rollins. Plus, you gotta let Rollins try to earn that contract, man. I mean,
that's fair.
He's playing. You can't bury him. He played a good game tonight. But I just think that whenever this team stops moving the ball, every time we go to ISO ball, we kill ourselves. We are not the ISO team. And so movement is our superpower. Now, I'm going to say this about, I'm not going to call his name, but there's a dude that's on another podcast that is really a pessimist. He always is talking on the pessimistic side about stuff. And he made a statement that ticked me off early this morning. He said, Let's see if Kyle Kuzma can prove himself to be a team player tonight. I was so ticked off. He assumed that Kuzma was going to come into Washington and try to play hero ball. Now, he played a solid game until when Giannis picked up that quick foul and Kuzma had to go right back in the game. He was gassed, and so he was trying to, he made some questionable plays because he was playing tired. You on mute? You on mute?
I was just saying, my bad. I was just saying he was gassed and he didn't
Yeah,
have no
exactly.
leg. That's why he started making the low IQ plays. I'm gonna start
But
using that.
but the first half, most of the game, he played within the offense.
Right.
He wasn't forcing anything. So I'm just kind of tired of these analytical type dudes, man, that just think the worst of dudes. Because Kuzma has done nothing since he's come to the team to make you think he's going to go back to Washington and just act the fool.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
But I understand though. I do. I don't agree, but I understand, right? Khris Middleton wasn't just somebody. Khris Middleton is like this era's second best Buck ever. He's in the top 4 ever. Oscar Robertson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Giannis, and Khris. In my opinion, maybe there's some room for debate or whatever, but not much.
There's room for debate. I don't want to get into it, but we got players like Alvin Robertson, Sidney Mon. I mean, we got some players. I ain't gonna get into it, but
Sure.
But his
that'll be
issue,
another pod.
his issue wasn't with Khris.
Mhm.
It's with Kuzma.
I think, but it is the same.
Is the tie-in, right? If Kuzma is replacing Khris, right, then the love that you have for one player is going to turn into animus for somebody else, right?
Correct.
This is the guy who brought him in.
It was like this guy,
right? You know what I mean? It's this is the new woman you brought in the house, man. We told you to be married, like that kind of.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love turns to hate. And it's going to take a while for people to. People have their personal reasons, when it comes to warming up to certain players. I've said on the chat, right? Where with Kevin Porter Jr. for me it's just basketball, right? And I don't really want to talk about the off the court stuff. And hopefully it is never. I never hear about any of that kind of stuff again. So I understand, even if I don't necessarily agree with the Kuzma hate and whatnot. And the best thing you could do if you're Kuzma is to just keep playing the way that you've been playing, right? Because I think tonight shows the contrast between the players. I do think that Khris Middleton, I don't think this was ever in a debate, right? Khris Middleton has a much higher IQ than Kyle Kuzma, but Kuzma's body is performing better at this stage in his career than Khris Middleton's is. And at this stage, that is what the team needs. It's not a knock on Khris Middleton. It's just an evaluation of where your team currently is. As far as the team, right? You watch a fighter, if you got Bud Crawford, right? Bud Crawford gets into a ring with some person who's barely ranked in boxing, right? But Bud Crawford just fought 2 nights before. This guy hasn't fought since last year, March, right? If this guy starts teeing off on Bud through the first 5 rounds, is he a better fighter than Bud? Not at all, right? Bud is exhausted, right? But then if Bud starts coming back, I think that is a bigger statement for who Bud is as a fighter.
Right.
Because this is a fight that you didn't even expect him to be in.
Right.
Right? Like I said, this is not just a back-to-back. They had less than 24 hours. The games didn't even start on time. I think the announcer said that they got in at 5 in the morning.
Showed a lot of heart and grit. Showed a lot of heart.
Right. So you're essentially playing YMCA basketball. You're playing rec league basketball, right? Because you don't have any time to go over any plays or anything like that. You're just going out there and saying, look, guys, do the very best you can. And that's not just the players, that's the coaches as well. Hence the Pat Connaughton thing. Pat, get in there and do something. Somebody do something. Because in the beginning, nobody had. And then they started to settle. When the threes stopped falling, because Washington was just like firing away, when the threes stop falling for Washington, because that's what a bad team looks like. They look good through the first 5 minutes, and then when that wears off, they don't have any other answers, right? When that stopped happening, the Bucks took over, right? And it was rough. It was rough when they took over, right? Imagine what they would look like through a couple of games. The games that we're seeing now are their practices. This is their training camp. If you've ever seen any team in a practice in a training camp, it's horribly sloppy, right? I ran so many damn suicides in the very beginning when I was back playing basketball, when our team didn't know how to, go high, low, go give and go. The coach would stop the practice and we'd be running suicides and just bring the garbage can out to the middle of the court. I'm from that era when you ran until you threw up. Somebody threw up or whatever. This is their version of that. You add on top of that, you're missing your second best player in Dame, right? Dame did not have a good game last night, but Dame is a closer, right? He didn't have a terrible game, but he didn't have a good all-around game either. Where he did play well was in the very end of the game. He closed well. Now we're missing that on top of that. In this particular game, we don't have our championship level closer. So there were a lot of things that we were missing. There are a lot of new parts. This circumstance doesn't exist in the playoffs. You don't play in the playoffs on the second night of a back-to-back with less than 24 hours of rest, right? These games are strictly the mechanism of the league not being organized enough that we can do away with back-to-backs. So they're trying to cram in games, and when you're in those situations, do the very best you can, right? But I don't expect to get good basketball analysis. Like if I'm trying to break down a team, like what we did right and what we did wrong, I don't know if this is the game to look at.
Yeah, I mean, not
You know what I mean?
overall, but there are nuggets that you can pull out. It's hard again. Yeah, it's hard to assess them as a team, but there are nuggets you can pull out. It's a little bit of a challenge because while it's sort of like their training camp, they do want to kind of stay in that fifth. Don't drop any lower than fifth. And the standings, even though Giannis says it doesn't matter where we end up, but it's not that far to get to the play in or even out. So you want to kind of stay at that level.
For
I do
sure.
want to say something about Jericho Sims. I do want to say it because I didn't finish what I was saying before.
Apologies.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jericho Sims, it's easy to take a guy like him for granted because it looks like he's just out there, but you don't notice him because he's not letting people just blow by him. You know what I'm saying? Where guys would just run around Brook.
Right.
Jericho Sims can move, and like I said, what people don't really know is that for a center he does have a handle.
Right.
He doesn't have a shot from outside. He can actually dribble the ball. But what I don't like is this. This is second game in a row he did not get a shot attempt. And I think good coaching says, listen, let's get Jeremy
Jericho.
roll to the basket. Let's get him going to the basket. Let's get him a shot. And I think
put
that
Giannis and
makes
him in the pick and roll.
Huh?
Put
Giannis and him in the pick and roll. Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's going straight downhill.
Yeah, he's an aggressive screener. And that's his game. He knows that's his game. Go set the street and then roll. And I think they need to run to them. Don't let the dude just keep getting offers, man.
Right.
That's not cool. Let him feel like he's part. And I think we're gonna find that when he grabs that ball in the right spot, he's pretty explosive going up toward the back. He's not tall, so it's harder. It's harder to throw the pass because they can't see him as well as they could have, like a Capella type guy, right? But they got to work on that. Go ahead, Pronte. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. Like, just put him, and I said it earlier, you need to put him in the pick and roll, go downhill. And he can jump high enough that there's a lob there.
Yeah.
Now, you put the right person that goes downhill with him, like a Kevin Porter Jr., a Dame, even a Giannis. And you got to pick your poison. Do you stop Giannis from going downhill, or do you throw the lob to? It's a bucket either way. So you
And,
get
And you
him
and
know
I
like
think that's
4
something?
what
shots.
And you know what I can tell? He's a quiet kid. He's a real quiet. He goes to the bench. He doesn't say much. He's kind of like he's
Yeah.
not very demonstrative, and so he's not gonna call for the ball. He's not gonna be. So he's the type of dude that someone has to say, "Yo, we gotta keep him involved
Right.
because he's new to the
But
team, man. You don't want to."
right.
I guess
For
because
those type of
I'm
players,
a
he should be running
I
a
think,
play as
but I
soon as he
think,
gets in the game. He should be a play
yeah
should be running for so he gets some good feeling and good energy.
I,
That's what
yeah
I'm,
coaches usually do. They run a play for even the Bulls.
yeah
They have Michael Jordan and Pippen. Them first couple of plays, they might run. They gonna run some with Winnington or Luke Longley to make sure they involved and they head in the game.
right.
but
That's right.
we gotta be really, 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 really. He didn't play much basketball, so we gotta keep that in mind. So for
And
what
he's
he's
a,
doing is what we're gonna get. Those screens are solid. Just
He's the
imagine
best
him doing
screener
a
on the
pick and roll a
team
day.
already.
He's the best screener on the team
He best
already.
screener on the team.
Already, those screens was pretty good.
and he's a
So
new
that's what
kid in
he
a new
does.
school.
Mm-hmm.
He's a new kid in a new school, right? Who
Yeah,
wasn't the man at the previous school that he was in. Picture that. Picture you come into the team and you opening your mouth to say anything. That's what?
yeah,
What? Hold on, brother. What?
yeah.
What's your name again? Like, you know what I mean? And to
What's
You
your
gotta
name?
avoid,
get it off the
It's
glass.
crazy.
Get it off the
right.
glass. Like get it
So
off the backboard and then show us what you can do.
exactly. And until then, we're just calling you by your number. Like, we're not even calling you by your name. Like, you know what I mean? So to avoid that, and people know that, right? So to avoid that, they're not going to come and be loud. Those types of things that I think that you were describing, Bishak, I do think will come in time. I do
Mhm.
think that he needs a structured play to see that happen. Like, we need a practice or two or a couple of these games where you can see the on the court coaching and whatnot. Here, come over here, let me talk to you for a second. And then we're actually fleshing out a play. And it's not just him, it's for the other people as well, right? Basketball, very fluid sport. It's not like football. Football, everything is stop, start, the play, bang. Basketball, you have those types of moments out of a timeout, right? And then you can call plays from the sideline, but it's fluid. And to be like effective in the up and down fluid part of the game, your IQ has to be 100 for you to be as solid as you are in a set play as you are in the impromptu version of this game. That's what he has to work on, and he'll get it, right? In the meantime, we have
Play
to
defense.
give you guidelines to operate within. And until you learn those guidelines, it's going to look the way that it does. Here's why I'm encouraged, because without those guidelines, without a whole lot of time practicing and whatnot, he is good enough to keep Brook on the sideline right now. Right now, that's what he's good at.
That
With no knowledge, you can see that he's struggling out there. Like, okay, where do I go? Where do I go? With that, he was still good enough that Doc wasn't like, oh my gosh, look, timeout, come out the game. Brooke, go in. I don't care if you're about to fall
We
apart.
have
Like,
a
you know what I
positive
mean?
plus minus with Jericho Sims in the game.
With no knowledge.
With no knowledge, we
With
have a
no knowledge.
positive plus minus with Jericho Sims.
It, it will grow in time. So with this, like I said, patience, because it's not just new players, it's new players in critically important roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Porter Jr. is now our de facto backup facilitator. We've lost Khris Middleton. We gained Kevin Porter Jr.,
Right.
and in
right?
essence, we got some quality bench players now.
Right.
Like Porter's a sixth man. Kevin Porter
You
Jr.
know
is six.
what, y'all? I'm gonna say this on a
Smith
positive
Jr. is
note, and
six
I
man.
really feel like this. I feel like the Bobby Portis thing is a blessing in disguise for this team. I'm not wishing that he failed the drug test or has that stain on his name or nothing like that. But I think now it puts this team and Doc in a scenario where he's forced to be more creative with his lineup. He's forced to play certain players he might not would play. And I think with that, this team is going to get even more confident, and those young players are going to gain confidence over this stretch because now, 25 games? Bobby's out. It's only 3 games or 4 games left at the end of the season. What we've been talking about for years, let these young guys get their run during the regular season so they'll be ready to contribute in the playoff. The scenario is set right now. With Bobby being out, Kevin Porter Jr. getting all these minutes, AJ Green getting all these minutes, it can only benefit these teams. We're gonna have some bumps and bruises along the way. That's what learning is. Nobody is 100% right out the gate. But I think by the time that we get to the playoffs, we will be battle tested, especially with that schedule in March. And these young dudes will be ready and they will be contributed. We're going to even see a better version of Kevin Porter Jr., a better version of Kuzma. I think
That's
AJ Green is going to find his niche. I think Ryan Rollins is going to play for with more confidence if we still got to sign Ryan Rollins, like you said, B Shaq. Maybe they're still making him earn his contract. So we
He
do have to keep
he
that in the back of our mind is that Ryan Rollins is not on the permanent roster as of yet. And he might not be. You never know because they might use that roster spot for somebody on the buyout market. They could. They could. So we
I
got to
think
monitor that. I hope they don't, but you just never know.
I
I
just
think
think
the
about the
next
playoffs and how tight the rotations get. Now I think the Bucks. I think Rollins is out. Be honest with you,
you think he's
he'll
out.
survive the middle season. I think he's out for the playoffs. Yes, I think he's out. With Kevin
I
Porter
think,
Jr.
yeah, I think it would be Kevin
He's out.
Porter Jr. and AJ
He's out.
Green.
So, but that's cool. That's okay. Now you got to keep him for next year. But he's out. I think they're gonna give him a run. They're gonna, you know, try to keep Dame healthy. They're gonna try to keep Giannis healthy. And they're gonna try to win games in the meantime. That I think
And
that's what
to
that's strategy.
I
Go ahead,
agree.
Bisha.
I agree. And to Amaro's point, let's not forget that there are certain playoff matchups that Bobby has been unplayable. It's
All
not
of them. Yeah.
against the
All of
Celtics.
them, yeah,
Mm.
He didn't even play
all
He was
of
him.
them.
out.
So really, we do have to see what else we have and give other people time to get acclimated because it's not like Bobby's going to come back and he's your shoot-in guy coming off the bench in every playoff series. There's some playoff series they're going to be bad matchups for him, and he's going to get very little playing time. So we
But I would
definitely
say
have to
this.
see what else we got here.
I'll say this, B Shaq. I guess when the Bucks are more versatile now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So even Bobby playing with like a Jericho Sims keeps him protected. You see what I'm saying? Defensively. So, with the addition of Jericho Sims, if they use him right, which we don't know what Doc's going to do, that's the biggest, question mark is now you have a rim defender in the game at all times. You know what I mean? So you don't have to be super slow. You can play a slow Bobby and then have a Jericho Sims there to back him up. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or
I think that's
Giannis there to
excellent.
back him up. Or a Brook
Excellent.
with Giannis. So it gives you more versatility in scoring. You can still stretch the floor and still have somebody in the paint getting rebounds and doing all the stuff, the dirty work that needs to be done. That not necessarily that we know Brook Lopez doesn't do at all. So you need somebody in there for him, and you don't have to go with a combination of Dame. No offense, Dame, because
Mm-hmm.
Dame's been playing pretty good, but Dame, Bobby Portis, and Brook Lopez, which we know is a liability. you know, just in speed wise. So now you don't have to have all three of them on the court at the same time, ever,
I like to
ever.
hold on one second. Viper said the Bucks are more unpredictable now. I agree with that.
Yeah,
We're a little bit more unpredictable now with this injection of youth on the roster now. And you can just I just like to be played with speed and pace now. Finally, we've been holding Giannis back. It was just like we got a Lamborghini. We only driving it in the city. Don't never get to open it up on the freeway. You know what I'm saying? I think with Kuzma we can open it up now. I,
and
I
then
think
and
we're
even with
seeing.
Jericho Sims, like
Mhm.
if like Bishek said, if we can just get him some lobs to the rim and make him be that factor, that just opens up threats all over the court. Because now
Mhm.
you're not gonna out jump the guy. You know
I
what I
agree.
mean? So you're not gonna out jump this guy. So he's a factor on the pick and roll. Then you got 3-point shooters around him. Then you got Giannis coming at your neck. And then what you gonna do? I mean, if Doc can figure it out, you know,
Yeah,
and that's all it is.
I'm watching some college highlights of Jericho Sims.
They look crazy.
I just saw him cross somebody up at the top of the key and drive to the basket and yam it with two hands. I'm telling you, he's got he just did it again. I'm telling you, the dude's got, I don't know if you want to call point forward, point center type skills,
Yeah, that's
but he's
potential.
got a weird package, man. He's got a weird package.
I
It's
would say
just
that he has utility, right? He just doesn't have right now the IQ to do it on his own. So you have to show him, right? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Some people can, case in point, right? Kevin Porter Jr., this is to me his value, who once again, I'm just keep saying this, right? We got him from Marjon Beauchamp, who last year could barely make an NBA roster. And we just got Kevin Porter Jr., who comes over. That is what IQ looks like, right? Where I don't really have much as far as knowledge of the playbook. I'm not familiar with the guys that I'm going to play with, but I'm going to make something happen regardless, right?
Mhm.
Now, imagine what this mid-range game looks like. Let me tell you what a dangerous mid-range do, right? If I constantly punish you with the stutter step and force the paint to collapse in on me, right? Look at what Jalen Brunson does for the New York Knicks and how it opens up back cutters, right? And you have to collapse in on someone who is consistently burning you. Now, he is not as good as Jalen Brunson. I'm not saying that, right?
Yeah.
But what I am saying is that he presents, if a dumbed down version, a similar problem, right? Not as good, but a similar problem. You're gonna have to collapse in on me. Now, if we have other people who know how to cut, and they wait for that to happen, that's my cue. Soon as I see someone collapsing in on Kevin Porter Jr., I have you in like what do they call that? Like a double threat kind of situation where you either collapse in on me and I cut to a back cutting whomever, Giannis, Kyle Kuzma, whoever we have that can really punish the rim, maybe Sims if we bring him along. Who knows, right? Bobby Portis when he comes back. I can either do that or I'm going to continue to punish you with this mid-range game as long as I'm accurate. But we are no longer in a position where you can afford to say, well, we're just going to let him go off, because he will go
He
off.
will, right? Yep, he will.
Right. You know what I mean? He put 40, or I believe, on Drew Holiday once upon a time. So you
50.
could play that game if you like. I will not miss from this range. That's who we just got for Marjon Beauchamp.
And to that point, we have. I mean, I saw
Hey,
Kyle
Pronto,
Kuzma
I'm gonna let you
drive.
get your last word so I can tap in Mr. Cool. So it's on you,
Okay, I
Pronto.
saw I saw Kyle Kuzma drive and drop it to Giannis. Whenever we saw a player that can get to
Yeah,
the rack
yeah.
Yeah,
and then drop a
yeah.
quality pass to Giannis where he don't got to do it himself. So and that's the same thing with Kevin Porter Jr. Another player that can drive, draw attention to defense, and defense actually have to respect it
Mm-hmm.
enough to give up to pick their poison. It's a bucket either way. So, now you putting all types of pressure on the rim. You know what I mean? And then you got shooters around you that you can kick it out to that are really quality shooters. So now your offense is more versatile, and then you don't lose anything defensively, with some of those players on the court. And that's the key.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh, if I put Kyle Kuzma game, I'm losing something defensively. You know what I mean? Or Kevin Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. is a very active player.
Yeah,
Rebounds, basketball, so does Kyle Kuzma. The reason why the Bucks won the game today is because they were hustling. They can move their
they got
feet.
some
They can get to the
energy,
ball now. And that's
energy.
So,
the
so,
main reason why they won.
so can I
They didn't
piggyback off the point that you just made?
Right.
Because you got on right.
Hold on 1 second too.
right,
I was like Pronto, let me tap in Mr. Cool before it
right,
get too late. Yeah,
Bronte.
hold on 1 second. All right, appreciate you, Pronto.
right, Joe.
Let me just get Mr. Cool up in here real quick. Hold on.
I'm not going to be for much longer either
Oh yeah, hold
myself.
on. I'm gonna tap you out just for a second, so I'm gonna get Mr. Cool here before it get too late. Pronto, I'm gonna tap you back in.
All
Hold
right.
on a second. All right. Tap in Mr. Cool. What up, Mr. Cool?
Look, Mr. Cool.
Hey, gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight?
All right, all
Cool.
right, all right. But let me just, like I said, just build off the point that Pronte was making before I lose that, right? Because you're not losing anything on defense. Now, notice that we have all of this influx of offense that he's bringing, right? He is a playmaker for other people. He is a shot maker, particularly in the mid-range area. He is low-key explosive. He's not like Giannis explosive. No one is, but you know what I mean? That's not the first thing that you see off of him. He's sneaky explosive, right? He's like if you fall asleep, I'm going to punish you with a poster, right? And I'm noticing that, and he keeps you uh, intact defensively. You notice that Ajax, who started the season, was a starter on this team, and now we're talking about him even being in the league, right? All of these things we started out the season with a vision of the Bucks, and then slowly over time it wasn't working. So we brought in pieces that have been upgrades, right? We brought in Kevin Porter Jr., who's an upgrade over Rollins, an upgrade over Marjon, an upgrade over Ajax. He came for Marjon, player for player. If I'm not mistaken, it was just a straight swap. It wasn't a player and picks. It was just a player for player.
Correct.
And not leapfrogged almost everyone that we have as backups for our perimeter, right? Because he's not just a facilitator. He can play off the ball. He can play on the ball. That is one of the best pickups that we've had in a long time. If it weren't for the off the court stuff, it would be over the moon. That would be the conversation. But they bring him here. I think he fits with this team really well, and we don't even know what we're doing. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. So a lot at this point, because there's so many new parts now, and trying to incorporate them is going to take time. So that's my parting statement, because I got to be out.
All right.
It's just the patience. I know, like, to what Bishak was saying, yes, we're in the last third of the season and we're not trying to lose our seeding and whatnot. Of course, there is a sense of urgency, but you still have to have patience with these new guys. You can't afford to bring in these new pieces that are going to be contributing parts and not incorporate them in, right? So there's going to have to be like that measuring thing that we do, where we are teaching guys to play within this system while also not sacrificing too much of our seeding. And
Right.
we're figuring it out because we are on a 3-game winning streak, low key. 3-game winning streak without knowing what we're doing.
Doing, yeah.
3-game winning streak within 2 games back to back. Giannis has not been in the closing lineup.
Correct.
And we haven't lost those games. 3-game winning streak, right, where the third game is less than 24 hours after the second
Impressive
game,
display.
where travel was involved. So it wasn't like a back-to-back where they got to stay in Milwaukee, or back-to-back where they got to stay in another state, city. It was, we won immediately. Don't even go home and kiss your wives goodbye. Just shower,
Yep.
plane, Washington. Now, it's not to the other side of the country for sure, but it's still the body needs rest, and we weren't getting a whole lot of it, and we still won this game. We won a game in a circumstance that won't even be reproduced in the playoffs. You don't even get the circumstance in the
Right.
playoffs. So when we get the opportunity, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about everyone that we brought over, Sims included. I
Yeah,
know, Mr.
agreed.
Cool, I'm gonna let you cook, but these guys they're just learning. They're showing me, and I'll be the first one to tell you if these guys had to go. I don't have any problem calling a bum a bum. Get him out of
Right.
here, right? These guys are showing me something. We're faster. We can close, and we're doing this without really knowing each other. It's going to take
Right.
some time, but I think we got something here,
And we
right?
also we need to give Horst his credit as much as we go in on Horst for some of the decisions he's made in the past and a lot of the draft picks he's given up. This is a huge step in the right direction, and I appreciate even the Bucks being bold enough, knowing the blowback that would occur for trading Khris Middleton and being bold enough to even make that move because it had to be done. But they were at least bold enough to do it. So as much as we go in on John Horst, we have to give him his flowers for this Kevin Porter Jr. and Kyle
Come
Kuzma trade
on.
without using and Sims without using any draft picks.
Because we didn't even have it. We had no, because of the moves that he made
Right.
before. We had
Correct.
no moves to make. We had and
No,
he
I agree.
still figured it out
That's why
to
you got to
bring in
give him some credit.
crazy. That's great. Anyway,
All right.
fellas, always a pleasure,
Appreciate you.
you guys.
Appreciate
I
y'all.
respect everybody
Appreciate you.
on the panel.
Next game
Gotta
is
go.
Sunday, y'all. It's gonna be an earlier one though, so y'all pay attention. All right.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
salute.
Hey, first, hold on 1 second, Dr. Smith. Just great commentary today. I have to give my man a shout out. Hey, great commentary.
Pa-
Salute. That's it.
Patience. We'll get there. We'll
Oh,
get there. We got
absolutely, absolutely. All right, Dr.
yes,
Smith.
sir.
Hey, you good, Prate? All right, you good, Prate? All right, let me tap Prate back in. And without further ado, the living legend, Mr. Cool. Go ahead, let us know what's going on.
Well, I'm always give up opposite point of view on certain players, so that's just what I do. I I see things that maybe a little bit different than you guys, but I respect what y'all say. Of course, I learn from you guys, and sometimes change my opinion of players which y'all talking up here. However, I agree with on Kuzma. Man, that's just he fits so well so quickly, which is stunning to me that he could get out here on a new team and just kind of fit in like this, especially considering our coaches don't do a really good job to me of preparing us and getting us organized. And Prante, I agree with what you said about all the moving parts and new players and guys injured and all those things. But there still should be a little bit better organization on our coaching from our coaching staff. And we throw that ball around so much and people don't know where it's supposed to be. Again, why do I have 6, 7, 8 assistant coaches? What just take a responsibility and say, look, this is my guy. I'll help coach him and assist him throughout the game. You know, Doc, you go ahead and you run the team, of course, but I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on what he's doing. I thought that's what the assistant coaches did. I don't see that happening. All I'll do is see those guys sitting there and no one's talking to the players, especially the new players. Help get them in the right spots on the floor. And we seem to lack that from our coaching for whatever reason. You know, so and that's why when I go into talking about Sims, I agree with some of the things you guys say about him, but what I'm concerned about is we don't have a coaching staff that can coach him up in time to prepare him. He's the kind of a player that has to be coached up. You can't just throw him out there to the wolves like this. You just can't. He's just not going to be effective. We got our schedule in March is so difficult against great teams. How are you going to put him on that floor if he don't know what he's doing and you're not coaching him up properly? We're not even coaching up the guys that know how to play like Kuzma and Porter. They just happen to know how to play. You can those are just play and play, plug in and play those guys. You can put them on any roster on any team. They're going to get the job done if they're given the opportunity. So, and Porter, I said from day one, was a steal, an unbelievable steal. That guy averaged almost 20 points a game in Houston 3 years ago. In the NBA, for a full season, he averaged almost 20 points a game. This guy is a legitimate player. That was an absolute steal to get him. And I think the reason the Clippers got rid of him is because Harden just plays so many minutes. They ain't going to take Harden off the floor because that's Harden. And I think he probably was getting frustrated getting such few minutes in that role behind him. And they probably just said, just bring in a young player to sit the bench because he ain't going to be happy sitting that bench. That's just my thinking. So and because of that, we got a steal in getting him.
Credit to Clippers.
He has all-star material, skill sets. He could facilitate. He made Rollins play better tonight. Rollins was struggling in that first half. When he got on the floor with Porter, everything just, boom, snap, changed. And Rollins became a good player because he didn't have that responsibility of running the team. Porter can run your offense for you. He can facilitate. You guys were saying that earlier. He can penetrate, get that little step back going, get into that mid-range. He knows when the shot fake. He just understands the game.
I'm gonna keep it real. Kevin Porter Jr. is a better facilitator than Dame.
Oh, without question. Without question.
You teach us, sir. I'm in class right now.
Well, I wouldn't say that. But the thing what I love about Porter is he understands to try to find guys. He also knows when he needs to score. He just makes the right decisions at the right time. Every time I watch him, I'm like, man, he keeps making the right play. And you don't have, and I know Doc ain't teaching him. That's just his instinct and his ability to understand the game. Because I do not have enough confidence in my coaching staff. I'm sorry, I don't want to blame them totally. But like I said, I just don't believe they can coach Sims up enough so he can be effective. There are teams that would take Sims and do something with him. I don't believe we're that team. Yeah, nothing that they have done with younger players will show to me that they can build up a player that's a young player with 20-something games to go and get ready for the playoffs. That's just how I view it.
Thank you.
Mr. Cool, you are preaching because I mean you spitting some truth tonight. They definitely don't seem to be able to coach young players up. And the thing about Kevin Porter Jr., Marcus Johnson mentioned it tonight. He talked about the pedigree of the high school he went to that produced other professional players. See, the thing about Kevin Porter Jr. and the incidents he's been involved in that have sort of sullied his name, and rightfully so, he's received, just criticism.
Agreed.
But what it's done is overshadow He's basketball IQ and ability. And I think, like Mr. Cool said, we have a true. He's been talked about as a combo guy, but he has point guard tendencies,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see him organizing out there, and the guys are actually listening to him, which you don't get a lot from the younger players.
Yeah.
And I even saw Kyle Kuzma in the huddle tonight rallying the team. So these guys are bringing what they've already had to the team. You just want your coaching staff, to step up, because this process does not have to be as long and drawn out as it seems to always end up being. If they get in there and do what they're supposed to do, it can look a lot more organized than it does, because the egregious turnovers we've seen the last two games, I think are a result of not being organized.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Cool. I agree with you, Mr.
Let,
Cool,
let,
because
let,
I
let,
agree.
let me let, let me say this real quick. We have won about 3 games in a row, 2 of them on the road, and primarily because of Kuzma and Porter's play. They've won us 2 games already, and they just got here. They've won us
Yeah,
2 games
yeah,
on the road, and they just got here with all kind of missing players and learning everything. These dudes are very talented players, and they just been big, huge pickups for us. And the type of players that could get us over the hump because they attack the rim. Those other guys are spot up shooters. All these other guys are just man. When AJ Green put the ball on the floor, I go crazy. That's just not his game. It's not his game. I don't know where he'd be going, but he puts it on the floor like, dude, you just forget it.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
it just gives the
And
defense something else to think about. Like before the Bucks, it was drive Giannis and everybody else just stand around and just if they ain't got the shot, they got to pass it. Now you got Kevin Porter Jr., you got Kuzma who can drive to the rim and actually finish the play. Which we haven't had in a while. We haven't had in
right.
the Bucks got Giannis basically. So since probably Eric Bledsoe. So at the end of the day, this just adds a different dimension to the Bucks that if Doc is a coach, we can see them actually use it in a very good way. But it's really just players using like Kyle Kuzma doubling off to Giannis after he drives, and vice versa, or something like that. He can get to his spots. And we know Kyle Kuzma can finish down there too. So now the defense actually has to make a decision to let who score, which the Bucks didn't have, or Giannis didn't have at his disposal either. You have somebody else that can just go to the rim and score, and finish the leg. He didn't have an explosive guard ever. You know what I mean? That could just dunk like Kevin Porter Jr. So and break down this man. He was the only person on the team that can do it. So now that kind of lets the load for Giannis, where now you got other shot creators that can create their own shots, and now the defense has to worry about more than just Giannis creating their own shot. And then you got Dame who also can do it. So now we got to see the coaches actually organize the team and get the proper rotations together, and then with defense in mind, because it's going to be at the end of the day, the Bucks are built for defense. I think now, and I think that's why they got the players they got, because they believe that both those players can play defense and offense. So they're thinking about the playoffs in that sense. Um, and then you got Dame who can score and Giannis who can score at will. So whether
We're a more balanced and well-rounded team now with our current roster.
you can match up with any team. Like you got
Yeah,
Brook
we're
Lopez who
better
will match
now.
up with some teams. Then you can go small now. Legitimately go small and actually keep up.
No, I agree. Hold on 1 second. Curtis Gavin, appreciate the $5 super chat. Jamal Crawford, Kevin Porter Jr., and Marjon Beauchamp went to the same high school. Interesting. That's crazy. Interesting. Shout out to you, Curtis. Appreciate the super chat and the information.
Cameron, I wanted to say this to you. I think you asked a question about Porter's childhood and his father being his life. His father committed murder when he was a young kid and is in prison. So he grew up with a really tough setting as a child,
right?
And certainly that's going to play into some of his antics early in his career because he had a very very rough childhood. So I think he's overcome that. I don't even worry about off court stuff for me. Just get out there and keep hooping like you hooping, man. And Milwaukee will love you.
Facts. Facts.
Well, gotta be careful. We got people popping perks, getting 25 games suspension. So you gotta be careful. I mean, you gotta team up with the right people. I'm just. I mean, come on now.
That was necessary, but it was necessary. I feel what
I
you
mean,
said.
come on now.
I feel what you said.
It's all
And
it
you know
takes is a little
something?
bad influence, huh?
Go ahead, V-Shaq.
Let me say something about talk about something really with basketball. Uh, Marjan Beauchamp. I think we all really pulling for him.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem. I'm talking basketball now as a former street
Right.
player, combo guard. Listen, most right-handed guards, they always try to say take away their right. Most of the time, we learn a right-left crossover because we know guys like lean right, think you're going to right, and we
Mm-hmm.
actually are more comfortable going to our left. Now, here's the key: you can get past someone, which Marchambeau can get. He can get past people. The question is, what are you going to do when you get past them?
Nice people,
You
right?
either have to develop a left hand where you can actually get to the hoop, jump off your right foot, go to your left, or be really strong going up with that kind of reverse right hand like Kuzma does. But the problem is you can't be trying to get your feet together. He could
Mm.
not explode off of one foot. That's why he's always getting his shot blocked because he's trying to get together to jump off 2 feet and could never. He had no layup package because he couldn't get his feet together. Now that's something that has been a limitation for him probably all his life, and
Nice,
I
yeah.
don't know if the coaches at this level have time to teach you how to get your feet together. But that's a limitation, man. That he was an extremely flawed player, and I don't know how the scouts did not pick that up.
Mm.
Okay, the question I have is: did the Bucks get better at the Middleton trade?
Yes.
Oh,
Of course.
they got better.
Yeah, we're
I
better.
think
Of course.
I would say we're more versatile and more athletic at the very least.
we
So
got
I
better
also
with both
want.
trades.
I'm sorry. I did want to comment on Giannis' play a little bit too. I just want to touch on that before I lose my train of thought.
All right.
I'm just not a fan of restricted minutes.
Yeah,
For him in particular, if you're not going to let him just play his normal game, then don't let him play at all. I
yeah.
just don't think that serves him well. He's not that kind of player that can play these limited minutes. He has to get into his rhythm and get a good feel for the game. And then what happens is when he's out there, he's trying a little bit too hard. He's rushing, he's forcing, he's getting way more in isolation, and he's catching his isolation passes way too far away from the basket. Before he's usually off the elbow extended, what he normally was doing. He didn't do that today. He was catching it way out too far. Then he's trying to drive from the top of the key to the rim, getting charging calls. So I just think, I mean, he didn't produce that much for us anyway. 7 turnovers, then maybe if he's not going to play the whole game, if we still think there's an injury issue, don't play him.
Why?
Don't play him.
Why? Take the risk.
Yeah.
But
Because
also, Mr. Cool, why with more offensive players does he ever have to initiate offense? He don't have to initiate offense. Giannis does not with Dame, Kuzma, Kevin Porter Jr. He does not have to. We're talking about saving his body. We're talking about
Mm.
saving his legs. There's so much more he could do rather than initiate the play. Or if you initiate the play, get it out of your hands, move, go, cut, go underneath do something. But this initiating the offense and then holding the ball, that don't help us. I thought those days were long gone.
Hold on 1 second. I have to get Cynthia's super chat real quick. Hold on 1 second. Shout out to Cynthia Harris. I'm sure the people and the veterans of the chat are not shocked by this super chat in the comment here. Let me make sure I get to Cynthia. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Bucks way better than Middleton should have been gone.
Wow.
Trash. Cynthia has been like this for years. This is no shock to Bucks Nation. Salute to Cynthia. Cynthia. You're very consistent, Cynthia. Salute. Go ahead, Go ahead, V-Shack.
No,
The
I just don't understand why
Giannis
Giannis.
slander's overplayed though.
Mm.
In this
And
game, when Giannis came in the game, the Bucks hadn't scored in almost 4 minutes. That's why he pressed. Because he was trying to get them back into a score motion, and it actually worked. Whether he fumbled the ball or not, he was being aggressive and forced the defense to adjust. You can say what you want, but the Bucks had scored in 3 minutes, so they were losing some steam at that point. So they were on the backside of losing that game until he pressed it. So yeah, it looked sloppy. Yeah, he got out the game, but it was effective. I think what he thought was I had to be aggressive because the team was sliding and I didn't want to lose the game. And he almost did, but he actually reunited the team, took some of the focus off of some of the players, like AJ Green, who was trying to drive but couldn't drive. Like Pat Connaughton, who was trying to do something that he can't really do. And he gave Kevin Porter Jr. some rest, got him some legs to him, and Kyle Kuzma. Because in that moment, the Bucks were sliding. The Bucks were literally hadn't scored in 3 or 4 minutes. So he kind of had to do what he had to do, and he didn't have it. Like Mr. Cool said, he didn't really have it. He was fumbling the ball. He was out of rhythm. He's not used to minute restrictions. You could just see it. So he didn't really have the rhythm of the game because that's not Giannis' style. So I think that it was effective for the win, but like Mr. Cool said, he's not a minute restriction type of player. He just can't do that.
I'd have rather he sat today. That's what I was saying. I'd just rather he would have sat today than that. I'm glad we won and he gave us what we needed, but the risk wasn't worth the reward to me against the Washington Wizards. If he's not right, the risk wasn't worth it.
Because lately, Giannis has been giving the ball up. He gave the ball up to Kevin Porter Jr. He gave the ball up to Kuzma. He gave the ball up to Dame. Like, he's been on the block most of the time.
Mm-hmm. He's trying. He's trying.
He's moving around. He's getting dump offs. He was getting offensive rebounds, but he's just coming back from injury. No Dame. He's just trying to get a W because playoff position is going to be important. We can say we want to play the Knicks in the first round, but do we really?
No. Hold on one second. Too rare. We never said we don't want Giannis to score points. We were saying if he wasn't all the way right and he got to play on minute restrictions, that he shouldn't have probably played at all. It wasn't worth it, is what we're saying. We need Giannis to score. Dame and Giannis will be the reason we advance far in the playoffs, would be because of those two players with Kuzma and KPJ kicking in. That's what we going to need to do to advance at least out of the first and second round. We're going to need them to play at a high clip. Like when Giannis and Dame at the beginning of the year was giving us 30 apiece, that's what we need in the playoffs.
Is Dame really injured or he just resting?
No, he had a calf strain all year.
No, he said he was tired. In the press conference last night, he said he didn't get no rest during the All-Star break. He felt fatigued last night. And so they probably needed to give him some rest. But to the Giannis point, did y'all see Giannis's legs wrapped up like mummies on the sideline?
That's what I'm saying. That's my.
I'm like something's not right if he's got to be wrapped up like that.
I'd rather he sit a few games.
I think some of it's that, but I think some of it's like last year. We're not gonna do the same. We're not gonna just force it like last year. I think the Bucks are being very cautious.
As they should be.
Dame in the playoffs last year, so they're gonna do everything that it takes to make sure they get there. So I think some of it's both. And I was like, Dame, is he just tired? I think he's probably a little fatigued. I could tell last game he was a little fatigued and wasn't really into it. So, but now we got players that can play.
I guess I'm just from the old school of.
Hold on 1 second, Mr. Cool. You sound low. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Mr. Cool.
What Karl Malone used to say, and I'm kind of old school, if you lace them up, then let's play up. If you can't play, then don't put the laces on. Don't suit up. We don't need you out here. But once you lace up, no excuse. Let's play. And I definitely subscribe to that.
Yeah.
If you are on the floor, let's play. If you can't play, then sit down. Don't even get on your uniform yet. I don't have time for that. Oh, well, let me check my watch and see how many minutes did he play. What? That's crazy. It's just crazy to me. You can't be worried about that. So if he's on a roll and he'd made 7 straight shots, I'm gonna pull him out of the game.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull him out of the game.
that's
Give me a break. I can't. I can't. How do you coach like that? That's just, to me, it's crazy.
crazy.
What I would say this is, if I get a big lead and it's late in the fourth quarter, obviously pull him early, and then let him get his rest that way. If you want to kind of restrict his minutes, you could do it that way. But otherwise let him just play his game or don't play him. One of the two, because he's just not that kind of player. He's not going to be effective coming in 4 minutes here, 6 minutes here. It ain't going to work. He fouled out in almost 3.5 quarters of play, not even 3.5 quarters of playing. He just can't get into his rhythm like that. You're doing him a disservice, and you're doing the team a disservice.
Facts.
Yeah. But I agree with you about his minutes that he played. He was effective at certain points, and it was important that he did assert himself. But at the end of the day, I need Giannis at full strength, man. And if he's not at full strength, then don't let him play. Has the doctors cleared him? Did the doctors clear him to play? Yes or no? I thought you got this great medical team. If they cleared him to play, then let him play.
Is it lazy coaching?
What's that?
Are you talking about lazy coaching, huh? You know we talking about lazy coaching. Somebody didn't want to draw plays for other players. You know what I mean? Come on now. You got to make plays for other players to do that. You know, you got to, you got to work harder if some of your players aren't playing. That means you got to, and if you don't want to do that, you're going to, all right, Giannis, you got 20 minutes for us to win. I mean, Doc has to understand. I mean, we all know this about Doc. Doc relies a lot on his talent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's all. Kevin Porter Jr. is going to make him look real good, like a good coach.
He handles personalities. He's not an X's and O guy. He's a person that handles personalities.
Come on now. Without Kevin Porter Jr., Doc didn't do nothing to help the team. He did nothing. It's all talent. It's all talent. Y'all know. We saw Kevin. It wasn't a play for Kevin Porter Jr. that got him off.
That's
all just wrong. Let me do what I do.
He has value. I know that Doc Rivers has value, maintaining personalities and egos. But as far as X's and O's, that's not his real strong suit. In my opinion, I'm agreeing with you.
That's obvious. Every time I watch him play, throwing the ball all over the place, all these turnovers, that to me is the reflection of the coaches being disorganized, not having the team in the right spot. We're trying to kick the ball back out when we're penetrating to I don't know who. The ball's going everywhere. I'm like, what in the world?
Let's just take the Band-Aid off real quick. What is different from even getting these new players now to the previous players we had? What is different that you're seeing? What are you seeing different offensively? What are you seeing different defensively besides these players taking it upon themselves to play better?
And that's why I go full circle back to Sims again. They're not going to coach him up to help this guy, to help us. I just don't believe that. There's nothing will make me believe that.
Hey, shout out to Gibson for the development program. We need a development program. Shout out to Gibson with that one. We need the development program.
All he needs is one play. That's the crazy part about it. All Sims needs to do is work on one play. It's not really that hard. Like, work on one play.
I'm gonna tell y'all, with all the criticism that Jason Kidd used to get, that was his strength. It's player development.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's still a strength.
Right.
Just like Mark Jackson too.
Sims.
Mark Jackson too.
Sims on the perimeter and his switchability. And Sims very good at switchability. I saw that in him. He can get low and he can switch. The problem is our guards are terrible on backdoor plays. And so we get beat backdoor constantly. If Sims is going to come up and help on the perimeter, they were just backdooring because our guards, for whatever reason, maybe they're just used to Brook being back there. They cannot stop backdoor plays. And they were getting layup after layup or going right down the middle of the paint on us.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
no, that's fair, Mr. Cool.
One of my concerns with the way why we have to play is it because of the perimeter guys can't guard and stay with players enough to react to backdoor cuts? Because that's what it looked like to me. I'm like, man, where are you at, AJ Green? Guys are beating you constantly going backdoor. I was just like, oh man.
Well, you know something that's probably not going to change until we trade or let Brook go. Once we trade and let Brook go and get
Right.
a different type of defensive centers in there, now you totally retrain the guards because they're going back and forth between, okay, I got a rim protector back here versus, and so they have to retrain themselves totally. Once Brook gets out of here, I think we have a better chance of shoring that up because they're gonna remain lazy as long as Brook is back there.
So in the meantime, we got to live with Brook Amra. We got to live with him.
No, but that's what I said at the beginning of the live. I said we gotta deal with him till the end of the year, and then I don't
Right.
want him re-signed. I don't want no minimum contract. None of that. I want him off of this team. He is holding us back to a certain extent. I want him gone. I don't want no re-sign at no vet minimum. None of that. I want him gone. I think he should retire after this year, low key.
I
Hold on
mean,
one
but
sec. Let me get the homie
let me
super
say one
chat
more.
real quick.
Let me say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Let me say one more. I always listen to the opponent's games on
Mm-hmm.
League Pass, their coverage. Every single team we play, these people love Brook Lopez. They love Brook Lopez, the announcers for
yeah.
the other teams. They think he's really a great player.
Give us
So
a
it's always
couple
funny
first
when I
round
hear that.
picks.
Huh?
I said, tell them teams to give us a couple first round picks. You can have it.
I just tell you what they say. They
Right.
love. They think Brook is just legit in every which way in basketball. And I'm like, wow, they got a different opinion of him than we do. Of course, we see him all the time, so that's
Right.
probably why they think that.
I mean,
Well,
but
there's only one thing I know about Brook Lopez, and that's he needs to shape up.
Bro, B Shack, that's disgraceful. Man, where's his wife at? Like, you gonna let your man come out the house looking like that? Man, never let me come out the crib looking like that. Never. Never. You represent your whole family. You got the hair growing all the way down your neck like a tail or something. Like, that's crazy. And then and then your teammates ain't your real friends either, because they going to the barbershop. They coming in fresh and they looking at you, ain't even telling, hey, Brooke, you wanna roll? You wanna roll? Nothing. Hey, that ain't your real friends, Brooke. That ain't your
Looking like
real
a
friends. They
caveman.
don't care about you for real, bro. Hold on 1 second. 78. Appreciate the $5 super chat, homie. The LDBC General. Can we admit that Joe Prunty is a snitch working for Horse? This man been on the bench since Don Nelson. That is hilarious. What? Shout out to 78. Yo. 78 is
That's
wild.
funny.
But I
That's
gotta get up
funny.
out of here in a minute, gentlemen. Let's start
All
with
right,
Mr. Cool. We gonna end with the legendary B Shack. So go ahead, Mr. Cool.
well, I think I pretty much said all I had to say. I'm excited about our new players. We look good to me with the new additions, even though we haven't had a full healthy roster. But when we get that put together, this team is ready to make a deep playoff run this year, I believe, provided nobody else gets injured in the process. So that's just all I got to say. Always good with you, knowledgeable people. I learn from you
Appreciate
guys
you.
every time I watch it.
Hold on. I appreciate you. Hold on 1 second, Mr. Cool. We're gonna get everybody out of here at the same time. Prate on
okay.
you, sir.
Uh, I thought the Bucks got better. They look faster. They look quicker. They look more explosive. I would love seeing them have some continuity. You know, I want to see when they look like when they learn how to play with each other. That means we can't be in and out. I mean, I think at some point we have to have everybody play.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To see the team getting rhythm because we can't go into like, Dane's back, Giannis don't play. Giannis back, Dane. You know, we can't get into that protection state to the point where we don't develop any
That's true.
chemistry
That's
going in the
true.
playoffs. I mean, so I like to see all the parts kind of fit and then see what type of team we truly are. So I'm excited about that. I don't know. We don't have too much trust in Doc, but at the end of the day, that's all we got. We're gonna have to roll with what we got. So at,
Exactly. Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm excited about the Bucks. Hopefully, we stay healthy. I think that's going to be the key. But then we get some time on the court. We need 20 games. I think the Bobby Portis. I know you say it helps Amra, and
Uh-huh.
it does. Bobby Portis is a seamless player. We
Mm-hmm.
already know what he does when he comes in the game.
Right.
But then when he comes back, you gotta find a rotation spot for him again. and we've been doing that for the last 2.5
That
years.
is a great point.
And
That's a
that's
great
the
point.
problem with the Bucks. It's like all of a sudden, oh, now we got to fit Bobby Portis back with the new players and all this. So,
We're
that's going to be
always adjusting. We don't have any
always adjusting.
consistency. We're
So,
consistently inconsistent.
yeah, we've been consistently inconsistent, consistently in and out of lineups. So at the end of the day, once we get a set lineup that we know can do something and a couple set rotations, we'll really see what the Bucks got. But we do have players now. That's one thing
Facts.
we know. We have players. Now, can we get them organized? Can we get them in the right spots? Can they pass the basketball to one another? And can they play their roles, to perfection? Because that's what it's going to come down to. I think we match up with any team now. There's
Yeah,
no
no,
way
I
we can
agree with
say
that.
the Pacers can run on us. There's no way we can say we can't match up with the Knicks. We can get big, we can get small. So we should have no excuses. We should have no excuse anymore. It's going to come down to Doc learning how to take out players when he's supposed to take them out. Simple as that. You take out Brook. This is not a Brook game. This is not a Brook game. It's okay. Go with what you know. If this is a Brook game, put Brook in the game. It's not even. We're not even. Nobody's hating on Brook like that. But sometimes it's a game. But if he's not having it, he's getting beat for 50 points. Take him out the game.
Right.
And roll with a different lineup because now you have the flexibility to do that. So now Doc needs to if he wants another ring, work harder. Simple as that.
Mm,
Work harder.
mm.
Because you got the team. You can't tell me you don't got the team. If you want another ring, put in the work. We're going to see if Doc's willing to put in the work this time. So I'm excited about the new Bucks team. We'll see what they do. This one is
Thanks.
on Doc now.
Appreciate it. Hey, and shout out to Pronte too. What game did I meet you at, Pronte? What game was that? I met
Was
Pronte
that
in
Miami?
person at the Bucks game with my
Was
brother.
that Miami?
Yeah, I think it was Miami. Yeah, shout out to Pronte, met him in person. Real cool dude. Appreciate you. All right, Pronte, let's go to B Shack. What you got on your mind, B Shack?
Well, listen, I think the Bucks have a lot to be excited about. I think we've got some offensive tools now. But based on what we saw tonight, what I would do is bring back Dame for Sunday against the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
I would sit Giannis until we play the Rockets.
Yep.
Just sit him until we play the Rockets. Because I believe I'm not scared of Bam. I'm
Nope.
not scared of Tyler Hero.
Nope.
And they don't have Jimmy no more. So I ain't worried about Miami. And we play at home against Miami.
Correct.
I think the Rockets is on the road, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
No, I think that's on the road. Yeah, because I'm going to the game Sunday against the Heat, and then let me just check the schedule. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna check the schedule. But go ahead. I'll check the schedule while you talking.
Yeah. So I think the Rockets that's going to be a.
It's at Houston on the 25th.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game. So I think you rest Giannis up so he could be 100%, and just keep on building, man. Just keep on building. I think we're gonna be all right once we get this whole team intact. Everybody back healthy, get those rotations, just right. I think the Bucks can they may be able to surprise people.
I agree.
Yeah.
Appreciate you gentlemen tapping in. Outstanding live today. 2 hours plus. Eric Man, B Shack, Mr. Cool, Pronte, Dr. Smith just dropping gems all day. Appreciate all y'all tapping in. We gonna spin the block Sunday and hopefully we have another win. 3 in a row. Let's go for 4, y'all. Appreciate all y'all tapping in.
Yes, sir.
Outstanding live. Appreciate you. All right, Tay. All right, Mr. Cool. All right, B Shack. Salute to friends and family. Outstanding live today. Outstanding. We'll get up out of here though, y'all. Let me get the last couple comments. Shout out a couple people I just see it in there, like the homie Monalando. What's good, Monalando? Lavelle Robinson, what's good? R. Gates, what's good? What up, T? Want to make sure I shout out my people before we get up out of here. What up, Nemesis? Good to see you in the chat. WFSO, what up? Oh, I see Mr. Bahamas was in the chat. What up, Mr. Bahamas? Salute. Appreciate y'all. Chitty, it's always a pleasure to have you back in the chat. It is a pleasure to have Chitty in the chat. The return of Chitty. All good, bro. Good seeing the homie Chitty. All right, y'all. We've been grinding here for 2 hours. We will be going live again Sunday. Give me some time to get home from the game, and we're gonna chop it up again. I really think we had some great conversation today. I think certain things were taken out of context using low IQ, and what I'm just expressing is that some of those plays, I'm not calling the player, the plays were low IQ plays. Yes, there are situations, but we need to call out what happened. If Dame has 7 turnovers, I'm gonna call it out. If Dame shoots 2 for 12 like he did yesterday, I'm gonna call it out. We called it out. You can't just be aloof for 3 quarters and then show up with 7 minutes left and play hero ball. We need the consistency all 4 quarters. Yes, we won, but we're gonna call that out because against the quality teams, we can't make those mistakes, and we need to learn from those mistakes. That is where my perspective comes from. I'm looking at playing in the playoffs, who we're playing, and how we need to play to win. And our best players can't have games where they're turning the ball over 7 times. That's happened to Giannis. It's happened to Dame. I'm just saying we need to protect the basketball. That's going to be of highest priority when the playoff time comes. Is for us to protect the basketball. So we need to put a premise on that. That's all I'm saying. But again, great debate. Y'all see why I say this is the best Bucks community? Look at all the back and forth that was going on the panel, in the chat, but all respectful. Shout out to y'all. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here. We've been grinding. I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic, Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news live edition, where we just had a great discussion about the Milwaukee Bucks versus Washington Wizards game in Washington on a back-to-back where the Bucks were successful and grinded it out, even with Giannis fouling out and being on minutes restriction. No Dame, no problem. Bucks still win. 104-101. And Kevin Porter Jr. is looking like the steal of all the trades this year, right under Luka Doncic, respectfully. All right, y'all. Comment, like, subscribe, share the most electrifying content on YouTube with the best chat on YouTube. Y'all know what it is. I'll see y'all on Sunday. Gone.